Today, we're going to talk about how you unsuck your paid social and Google Ads copy. Because words are designed to move people, right? Words can make people think and feel things, and most importantly, do things. Like give you money in exchange for goods and services rendered, which is what we're going to be talking about today. How do you put the right words in front of the right people at the right time to give them what they need, which is what you do or sell. So we're going to be walking through today 7 of my favorite tips for incredible conversion copywriting for paid ads. You ready? Let's go. Tip number 1, put the buyer's job, what it is that they do, in the first 5 words. This is immediately going to create relevance for them. They are going to see themselves in your ad. They are going to see the goals, the tasks, the things that they are paid to do within their own organization immediately mirrored back in front of them. Now, what that looks like, we're talking about verbs like reduce, automate, ship, track, restock, forecast, qualify, generate, prevent, reconcile. You want to make your ad and what it is that you are offering them a part of them building the solution that they are already supposed to be creating. Now, what does this look like in practice? Let's take a look at 2 different examples. First, let's say you are in lead generation in the logistics space. This might sound like cut dock-to-door delays, real-time ETAs your team trusts, right? So immediately in those first 5 words, you have mirrored back the mandate of the person you are trying to reach, the thing that their boss has told them that they need to do for their job. Now, let's say you're in the B2B space, but you're in e-commerce. Maybe that might sound like restock best sellers fast, wholesale bundles that move. Again, you really want to lead with what it is that they are looking to do. You're going to need to resist the urge to use verbs like introducing, or say things like all-in-one, next-gen, revolutionary. That's talking about yourself first. And you have to remember, with conversion copywriting, especially in a finite space like a paid ad, they don't care about you yet. They don't know you yet. They only have one objective: to solve their problem in a way that makes sense for them. So you need to meet them where they are first, not by convincing them already about how great you are. Let the landing page on the other side of that ad do that work. But you need to convince them first that you see them, you understand them, you hear them, and you can give them exactly what it is that they are looking for in their words. Tip number 2, swap out your fluffy adjectives for specifics and data. This next tip is to all of my artists out there. The people like me who want to make people feel something with their words, who want to explain the benefits, who want to show how big and bolder and brighter their buyers' worlds could be if they would just give us their money. So we default to flowery, fluffy adjectives. Better, powerful, or seamless, or all of these different interchangeable words that, quite frankly, every single one of your competitors is already using. When you're in the B2B space doing paid social ads and you're trying to get people to take action in the way that you want them to, right? First, we've told them what their job is. Now we need to tell them what they're going to get, and we need to do it with specificity. That means we don't want to say things like, oh, better uptimes. You should use specifics like 15 minutes faster, 10x quicker, things like that. You want to use time, you want to use volume, you want to use range, you want to use SLA, error rate, setup time, payback window. Your friend in short form conversion copywriting are specifics. That's what you really want to dig into. So for example, if you're doing a Google ad headline, it might be go live in 14 days, ERP integrated routing. It's simple, it's to the point. I know it's not Chaucer. It's more like Hemingway. You gotta get to the point. Remember, you have the time to be the artist, the big, bold storyteller when you get them to that landing page, because that's where you really start selling, right? That's where you really start making the case for what it is you do, how you do it, and why you're better at it than everybody else. But your ad is not the space for that. So remember, point number 2, specifics. Set the fluffy adjectives aside. They will eat up your character count and only just make you sound like everybody else. Tip number 3, write to the objection or pain point in their head and use yes and language. Now, what I mean by that is you are going to address their objection, their pain point, their friction that they're experiencing in plain language, specifically their language, how they talk about it, what their experience is. And then you're going to resolve that pain for them proactively. Whenever you're trying to sell somebody anything, and it doesn't even matter if it's something they want, they are always going to be experiencing some level of friction. Maybe they just don't want to pay the money. Maybe they've been burned in the past, and so they have friction around the experience of buying what it is that you do or sell. Or maybe they've just been burned in the past. Maybe they have objections that are beholden to their bosses, right? Budget constraints, specific types of results, things like that. Those are the things where, if you can, you want to get ahead of those in your copy. So for example, already using HubSpot and Salesforce, keep your stack. So immediately we're saying, we're not asking you to change anything. We plug in, clean the data, and route leads correctly. So in that case, you have given them the opportunity to realize, oh, they're not asking me to invest in a whole new thing or disrupt my tech stack. They seamlessly integrate right in. And you didn't even have to use the word seamlessly. So proud of you. Now, let's say you are in the manufacturing space and you're doing more of a bottom of the funnel offer. You might lead with something like, downtime is expensive. They will think to themselves, well, yeah, no duh, but at least we're saying it out loud. And then we go into the yes and. That's why installs happen off shift with rollback built in. So again, you see that pattern there? Name the friction, name the pain point, name the problem, and then show how you've already thought about that and how your solution wraps around it like a big group hug. Remember, your goal here is not to pretend that objections don't exist. They do. No matter what it is that you do or sell, somebody has a pain point, somebody has a friction point, somebody has an objection. Don't argue it. Show how you work with it and keep it factual. Next, we're going to talk about one of my favorite formulas. You plus outcome plus when. It's clean, it's punchy, and it's scannable. The reason why this formula works is because it gives you a clean sentence structure that makes it easy for your audience to immediately understand the benefits that are in front of them. And this is important, right? Because the more words, the more exposition, the more stuff we shove in there, the harder it is for our audience to stay engaged with what it is that we're saying. People are skimmers. Your buyers are smart people. They are also inherently lazy. Two things can be true and often are. So this formula helps you stay grounded, specific, and concise in what it is that you are trying to convey. Again, in that itty bitty Google ad copy or that itty bitty Meta ad copy. Here's what it looks like in practice. Again, that basic formula is you get blank, your outcome, when, mechanism. Let's take a look at a few examples. You get fewer lost leads when routing updates in real time, not weekly. You get accurate ETAs when carriers update automatically. You get clean handoffs when rules match territories and capacity. You get repeat buys when bundles match what customers finish first. There's only one way to screw up this formula, and that's by stuffing too much stuff in. We don't want any long compound sentences. Keep it clean, keep it quick. One sentence, one promise. Tip number 5, make your CTA say the result, not the action. I don't know about you, but how many times have you gone in to make buttons that are supposed to go with your ads or your link copy, and you end up with something really just so inspired, like click here, submit. What we want to do is we want to take those boring, ho-hum, old busted styles of buttons, your submits and your click here's, and turn them into a result. Instead of submit, get your quote. Instead of click here, get started with your bundle. Your goal here is to tie the button copy to the precise result that your buyer is trying to achieve. And I hope by now you're starting to see a pattern. You're mirroring them all the way through. You're mirroring their goals all the way through. Again, this is not about you. This is about your buyer. So you might have a button that says, get the checklist, see examples, see pricing ranges, compare options, get my demo, get a quote in 24 hours, shop wholesale sets, get the sample kit. Don't put learn more anywhere. It is time for us to say a final farewell to our learn mores, our submits, and our click here's. If you want someone to take action, tell them what they're getting. Buttons have the ability to drive action. Use that space accordingly. Tip number 6, write microcopy that removes fear around time, privacy, or effort. Fears around time, privacy, and effort are your number one killers of conversions and purchases. But microcopy is a little bit different from your traditional copy. It still exists in the same space. But regular conversion copy is like a paragraph on a landing page, a set of bullets that are associated with a form. Microcopy are these little baby bits of copy that can exist under buttons, over buttons, as little help text, things that reduce friction and fear. When someone goes to fill out a form, they have a lot of questions, right? How long? What happens? Will you spam me? If I'm making a purchase directly as a B2C customer, for example, or even a B2B customer who has the ability to self-service in a purchasing ecosystem, I might have concerns of, well, what are they going to do with my data? What happens when I submit this? Are they going to spam me? How long is it going to take? These are the little fears that creep up in purchasing decisions and conversion opportunities because your buyers, more than anything in this whole world, want to feel in control. And this is where you will often lose people. So think about ways you can reduce that fear with microcopy. For example, underneath the form heading, take 60 seconds, no spam. Under an email, this is for work emails only. We will not sell your email address. Under a CTA, once you fill this out, you'll hear back from us in 1 business day. And if you're that wholesaler again, we'll grant you access as a wholesaler in 24 hours. You're going to have to resist the urge, however, to over-explain yourself. This is not the place for walls of text, massive privacy disclaimers. You do not calm down your buyers who may just be getting to know you by throwing too much information at them. The way you reduce fear and friction is through one calm sentence, not your privacy policy version of War and Peace. All right, guys, we're almost there. Tip number 7. Now we're going to use contrast phrases to create clarity and comfort, but without getting too cheesy. I'm not about to teach you anything you don't know. Contrast phrases are important because we show people the sad, sad little life that they're living right now, why it's painful, and how it can get better. Contrast makes the value obvious. We see these in commercials all the time, right? How many times have you seen commercials where it starts out with somebody smashing a toaster and everything's in black and white, and then all of a sudden they get the brand new toaster that can sing songs and do their taxes and also somehow toast hot dog buns. Suddenly everything's bright and in Technicolor. You have to accomplish the same thing in words, fewer words. You don't have a 90-second commercial. We got to get this done, right? But we need to keep it grown up. The formula is always the same. Instead of X, do Y. Right now you're at point A. Have you heard of point B? Let's take a look at a few examples to show you what I'm talking about. Stop routing by spreadsheet. Route by rules. If your team rechecks ETAs all day, you don't need more alerts. You need fewer exceptions. Less random restock, more predictable reorder. The way you nail this is to remember, you don't want to dunk on your buyer. You don't want to be too gimmicky. You want to be relatable, but not in that weird, cheesy, infomercial-y kind of way. Speak to the real pains that they're experiencing. That one point of friction in their day-to-day that you know you solve better than everybody else, and name it. Name it in their words, and then show them what is possible. Well, if you've made it this far, congratulations. I have no trophies. I maybe have a hearty internet high five, but you have already made yourself a better conversion copywriter for your paid ad campaigns. Your next step is to practice. Your next step is to test and retest. I cannot tell you enough how important testing with your copywriting is, because you could follow all of these tips to the letter and still something doesn't quite land. And it could be something as a verb choice. So run A/B tests, see what performs, pull in the data, and make more data-informed decisions. Continue to experiment, continue to try new things. And most of all, this is one of my favorite copywriting tips that I'm going to leave you with today. When in doubt, if you have a front-facing sales team, talk to them. Talk to them. Ask them what they're hearing from your buyers. When they show up on those first discovery calls, what are the words that they're using the most? What are the pains that they're referring to the most? If you can, get your hands on some sales calls. Remember, the voice of your buyer is always going to be the most powerful tool you have in your conversion copywriting toolkit. And if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are always happy to help with your paid social needs.